Hi, this is Jessica DeMassa, and I'm in the GuideWell Insights Lounge here at Singularity University's Exponential Medicine 2017. Joining me right now in the lounge, I have Jeroen. He is the Chief Innovation and Strategy Officer for Philips. So welcome, Jeroen. Nice
Thanks,
to see
Jessica.
you.
Good to be here.
Good. So we were talking a little bit before we started here about Philips and some of the changes that have happened in the business. So I want to hear straight from the mouth of the Chief Innovation and Strategy Officer the direction that Philips has taken, because we were talking about which industries you're playing, and it turns out you're not playing in anything but health anymore.
No, we become very, very focused. I think we made a profound pivot towards health. And when we say health, it's both, health and well-being. So eating, clean air. It's really about how you as a person, can live healthily. But also, of course, professional care.
Sure.
So how can we support the care system by doing much more precise diagnosis, find the right therapy, but also connect patients to their caregivers. So we're a big supporter of the creation of 24/7, always-on care.
Nice.
And making sure you have, care teams that really match towards the needs of the patients.
So what are you doing specifically to pivot the business into healthcare? Are you focused more on healthcare delivery? Are you focused on the consumer space, on the provider side?
Yeah.
Where are you guys?
All of those.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a big company,
so you have to understand where we're coming from.
Yeah, tell me.
We're 127 years old, and we started really as a consumer company. So we have a 127-year legacy in consumer technology. So every year we ship hundreds of millions of consumer products. And we really want to get into how people use technology to augment their lives and to help them, live better lives. But we also have a 100-year legacy in imaging systems. So when the first Röntgen machine was developed in Germany 100 years ago, Philips bought a factory to actually build X-ray machines and went on from there. But also, if you look at patient monitoring, you know that 57% of all monitors in the US are Philips monitors.
Really? I didn't realize that.
So we have an amazing, heritage that we're building on. So if we can move imaging into precision diagnostics, if we can move our personal health into truly helping people with consumer technology, and if we can make monitoring ubiquitous, we're there to monitor people when they need it. I think we have a tremendous opportunity to help reshape health.
That's fantastic, and as a really large company with such a rich history, and really such a large percentage, I guess, of market share in health in certain areas, you really have a responsibility to help kind of define what that trajectory is for the industry moving forward. So how are you doing that? What does healthcare need? What's on the strategic imperatives list here?
Well, we believe technology can play a big role in making technology seamless. It can disappear in the background. It can be there for you when you need it. We can use artificial intelligence to really start interpreting what we see on the images, link it to the pathology, to the genomics. So really provide that a full and holistic view of you, so that we can provide better care.
Sure.
But we can also bring that to places where there's never been professional care, because it's now all in the cloud, in the network. So providing broader access is on our agenda. Providing more integrated solutions is on our agenda. And we do that with providers. We do that with large consumer companies. We do that with payers. And we actually also work with health systems. So
talk a little bit more about that, because I know we had been talking about our mutual friend Lucian England in the Radboud Center
I think it's a
in
good
the Netherlands.
So
tell me a little bit about how you're innovating there.
Yeah, Radboud is an amazing place, and especially Lucian's organization is looking at how digital technology can create a completely new health model.
Right.
And they're specifically looking at what technologies would work, but also how can you embed that in the clinical workflows? How can you use that to change the way you engage with patients and the experience you give those patients? So it's a real honor to work with these guys and be their technology partners, so that together we can prove to the world that these new models create way better outcomes at lower cost.
That's fantastic, and it definitely helps to have a legitimate use case to do that.
Exactly.
Because, you're basically, healthcare, they say it's like a cruise ship, and it's hard to turn a cruise ship, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what else, I guess, from your perspective, in terms of innovation as far as innovation goes, and technology, and being at Philips, obviously you're at a lot of different conferences. We're here at Exponential Medicine. What do you have your eye on You know, I mean, you're moving, you know, down the road here with Philips, and especially now that you've gone full on in health.
Yeah.
What do you have your eye on in terms of some of the disruptive technologies that you're just dying to bring into Philips?
Well, again, artificial intelligence is really important because you know I see us as complex emerging systems where a lot of things, you know, relate to each other. Your mental health, your behaviors, your social environment, you know, your genome, what you're eating, your biome. So how can we make sense out of that and find the true health drivers? So using AI to interpret that data is becoming very important, and for us, you know, what we call ambient intelligence. So for instance, if our monitor knows who you are, immediately configures and calibrates to you, then they provide better information about you. But if you get to an MR machine and that MR machine knows your history, knows why you're there, it will create a better interpretation of your disease. So we can be much more real time in, you know, identifying what's really amiss with you so that we can find the right therapy.
And much more personalized.
And much more personalized, but at scale.
Right.
And that could never happen because you were always dependent on the best doctors. And you know, a lot of people like to go to the doctor with the best experience, but now a lot of that experience will be built into the system, and therefore the best people can now drive health to millions of people rather than, you know, the 50 patients they see on a day.
This is what you're passionate about,
and
I
really
I can hear that,
that.
and truly, I mean, and that is very passionate. I like what you said about you're basically innovating expertise at scale.
At scale, because I think that's the trick. Because healthcare has been for the longest time, you know, brick and mortar and the specialist, so the guy who really knows it. But that's a constrained world. We got to open it up. We got to bring it to the millions, maybe even billions.
That would be
know,
incredible.
there are 2 billion people who don't have access to proper healthcare.
Right.
And you know, 80% of what health is information. It's really the interpretation of information about you, and then applying that deep knowledge and understanding to find the right care pathway.
This is just wonderful. Thank you so much for
Thank
talking
you,
to us
Jessica.
about your vision
Pleasure.
for the future. It's exciting to hear that a company like Philips is really going to be focused on health now, and I mean, I was surprised I had not known that. So
I'm
thank you so
excited
much.
about it as well.
Good,
Sounds
likewise.
great.
Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
here in the Insights Lounge. I'm Jessica Tomasa. Thank you so much for joining us.